All right, y'all. I just gotta go. I'm so sorry. I'm super, super late. Trying to get back acclimated, child. Things are not going to be perfect. It is what it is. Hey, everybody. How are y'all feeling? Hopefully, everybody is well. Welcome into the season 3 finale live. So we're going to be talking about episode 9, episode 10, but we can also discuss the entire episode of all the entire season, I'm sorry, of Bel Air. Sorry, y'all. It's been such a crazy, crazy, crazy day, busy day, but we're here. Between Power, this, Reasonable Doubt, I'm a low-key overstimulated, which is also added to the fact that your girl was about to take a whole break this weekend and really like recharge, renew, refresh, and all of that jazz. Let me see what y'all are saying in reference to y'all's ratings. Where we're at. Let me scroll up. Thank y'all for waiting and being so patient. Come on, all of the all of the chats. Kofi gave us a 10 out of 10 for both episodes. What a finale, mini cliffhangers, yes. Chanel says, I knew Lamarcus was out of here as soon as you heard his middle name at the ceremony. Literally me too. Literally me too. Y'all can hear me okay, right? I'm hoping so. Hold on, let me make sure, child, because I can't even tell if y'all can hear me all right. I think so. I'm trying to get back acclimated in my studio, and it is like been the hardest transition ever. Hey, Tassie. Okay, let me do this right. Hey, Aaron M. Welcome in, boo. Hey, Kimberly Felder. Hey, Kofi. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank y'all so much for y'all support and your membership. I just dropped the Power Book 2 Ghosts episode 6 from season 4 live reactions for members only. So that's available for y'all. And then my breakdown will be up later on today. I do have a Power Book live coming later on tonight, and I will be on Brillo's channel for a hot second. So it's tons and tons of content. Shout out to Chanoa, my beautiful moderator and friend. Hey, boo, hey. Hey, Atasi. Hey, Tripstar VPR. Hey, Angela. Welcome in, boo. Hey, Kendra. Hey, Men's Talk Show. Hey, Devin O. Hey, Candy. How are you, boo? Candy loves to talk TV. Hey, DeMarcus. I know you got some thoughts. Hey, Micah. Welcome in, boo. Hey, Unfairly Overlooked Davis. Edits XD. Cindy. Okay, y'all can hear me all right? Yes. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty much everybody. Okay, back to the ratings. Kobe gave it a 10 out of 10. Kendra gave it a 10 out of 10. Yes, hit that like button for me, pretty please, y'all. What we rating it on a scale of 1 to 10? Aaron M says that we need at least 15 episodes. Kendra says 20. The way they cooked this season, we definitely needed more. And I hate that they sandwiched it. Basically, what was said, what I heard was that they rushed to push the seasons out, or they bundled the seasons up, or the episodes up this season because of Thursday Night Football, but then also Fight Night premiered last night as well. I feel like they like rushed it so that that could premiere, and I'm like, this needed a strong 6 weeks to roll out. Like, we did not get enough time to sit and breathe with these beautiful stories that they have given us this season, and I'm gonna have beef with them about this season for that probably forever. I appreciate the amazing work, but I'm gonna have beef with y'all because why did you rush it like this? Y'all was talking it up in here. Okay. Let me get ready to open up the Discord. Because, child, and don't worry about my broke headphones. I'm about to get some new ones at some point. I'm taking my braids out, y'all. So, and I didn't want to look too crazy. Like, I've been vlogging and I look crazy as hell in the vlogs. DeMarcus gave it an episode 9 and 10 were a solid 9. Edits XD said the episodes were 8s. I didn't want to get on here and be looking crazy in all my damn lives, so we made some movie magic happen, okay? Not people settle all the time. I can't even get into all y'all's little messages here. Let me open up the Discord because I'm behind, but I'm so glad that y'all were able to talk it up. Where we want to start first? Where do we want to start first? I haven't even started fight night, Cindy. It's too much. Power, whew, it's too much. Thank you so much, boo. Thank you. MJ 3009, you were not tripping. I was not here, but I'm here now. All right. The Discord is now open. The Geoffrey, Penelope, and Frederick story keeps storying. Honestly, Cindy, I would probably say for me that's the biggest area where they would get the criticism for me the most, because while I understand in theory a lot of what they were doing, I feel like they didn't do a good job of really telling me what the hell is happening. Like, I get that like some bad people are looking for him, but I don't feel like I left the season really understanding the weight of it. That he had to cough up $1 million. The old Geoffrey was supposed to square everything away, only for these people to still be around. I'm like, how serious is it for y'all to have some little random London goons riding around looking for his son, looking for him, and now have snatched up Will? Like, I don't really get it. Like, and he was a little corner boy, like he was a little London corner boy. It doesn't track. This is now what, 20 years later? 18 to 20 years later? Maybe, okay, 15 to 20 years later, because I don't know how old Frederick's ass is, but I'm still not over it. I'm still like, Frederick can go to hell if you ask me. Still. I don't trust Penelope. I felt like she was way too willing to like walk him in to some mess with these people because, oh, he can handle them just so that they can get off of his son, off of her son. And Geoffrey, you about to walk away from the only family that you have known, to go be with them when both of them will have no problem offering your ass up with the quickness, honey. Both of them. Frederick said that if he has to choose between his mama and you, he gonna choose his mama. His mama just tried to take your ass to a sit down with these people who have beat your son and have been looking for you, took $1 million and didn't honor an agreement. And she didn't even want to tip you off. She didn't want to come up with a plan with y'all. It's given she thinks you're a little lamb that she can walk into the slaughter. I don't trust either one of them, and I don't give a damn how much he loves them. And honestly, it's the Penelope and Frederick of it all that's like the grounding force of like, at least I get to still be annoyed and pissed and not really like them, because the way episode 9, I was so like, Carlton, F you, I'm done with you, I'm never coming back. But the way the episode went down so beautifully, it like called me back. So like now I'm like, all right, fine, Carlton. But I'm standing 10 toes down behind, I don't trust Geoffrey's family. I think that they are trouble. I think that they don't wish him well. I think that they want payback. Like, I just have all of the thoughts, and none of them are good. EdisXD says, Penelope lost me for real. Kimberly says, I still don't trust Penelope. Yeah, they kept it very mysterious. Penelope is not good because he killed the head. But he killed the head 15 to 20 years ago. You can't even convince me that it's still the same top boy in charge 20 years later, 15 years later. And you ain't never looked for him before? But when your family happened to pop up now, She was trying to get Geoffrey to caught up. For real. A lot of loose ends and unfinished business. For sure. He told Frederick he came to the crime boss's right hand man. I don't understand why they're treating Frederick like he's a teenager instead of a grown ass man. I said you're a grown ass man shooting dice in the alley. A grown ass London man in the alleyways of LA shooting dice, coming home and throwing tantrums because your father wants to know where you at. If you don't go get a job, sir, Mr. Frederick, man. Geoffrey better go save Will from those people. He better bring his ass back immediately. Absolutely. Both of them have zero loyalty to him. Yes. Edit Sexy says episode 9 had me like F Carlton and F Lisa. Eccentric says F Lisa, what'd she do? She basically like echoed the whole Will selfish thing, and she had displaced anger too as it pertains to Amira. It wasn't as bad as Carlton, but it was there. Okay, hold on, y'all. All right. Hey Kofi, hey Cap Sam, welcome in. Just to reiterate the rules, say your piece, keep it respectful, no F bombs, no B bombs. Try to limit the profanity because YouTube is already on my behind. And if you're finished with a topic or you're done and you don't have anything to say, just don't say anything. You don't have to say I'm done. What's up, y'all? We're on Geoffrey and his fake family. How could he not? It's the same car. It's the same people. Frederick. Yep. Wait, did you watch it? Okay. Okay. But even that, now that you've watched that, you know that there is nobody 15 years late. Like nobody stays as Top Boy for even that long. And if he killed Top Boy and they were all fighting for power under, like, it honestly, they didn't give us enough as it pertains to the Geoffrey storyline for me to believe any of this is actually true. You guys can't hear Kofi? Hold on one second. I think it's me, Kofi. 1 second. Let me reload this. Okay. Kofi? Can you guys hear him now? I believe so. They should be able to hear you. But I think that he is responsible. Geoffrey is responsible. This isn't about Frederick. He thought that those boys were just people that were like coming back for like him owing them money and like winning in the game. But Penelope actually helped him confirm like it's people from their past. Yeah. Hey Naya. No, I just got on here and I'm trying to figure out what is going on with audio right now. No, so we literally just started and talked about Geoffrey.
Hey Naya.
Oop, hold on. You guys still can't hear? Hold on, Naya, 1 second. I don't know what is going on. This thing is giving me the blues. All right, where is that at? Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear now? Go ahead, Naya.
Oh, yeah, I was just like, I feel like I have to rewatch the last two episodes because I feel like there was way too much, and I don't feel like, to be honest, I processed any of it. So I feel like the only thing that like I can remember vividly from watching the episode, like at least from episode, what is it? Not it was not was it 9 and 10? See, I can't keep track of the season either, the numbers, because they just released everything like this. So I think it's 9 and 10 they released, if I'm correct. Or
Yes.
is it 8 episodes a season?
9 and 10.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
I can remember like vividly parts from 9, but then 10 was just like too much happening all at once, and then like 5,000 cliffhangers. So like what I do know is that the Carlton and Will aspect, like I remember that, and Hilary and Jazz, but that's about it. I feel like that's all I can control.
They are hanging on by the skin of their chinny chin chin as it pertains to Carlton, because when I tell you episode 9,
Oh,
I was gonna be so done with that little nigga. I swear, like I was just like, you don't even have to tell me twice, Carlton. Bye, ho. Like I am over it. The way that he switches back in a moment's notice to call Will a thug, to tell him
it's
he gonna go to
alarming.
jail, like all of those things. I was just like, Carlton, please go to hell,
You
please.
Yeah.
know what? You know what the parallel reminds me of, though, right?
What?
The Will and Carlton dynamic is very familiar and it's
Ooh.
very similar. You know who I'm talking about.
I just caught it. I
And it's
just caught
on
it.
the nose. It's so on the nose. Like episode 9, it just completely solidified and crystallized for me. Yeah, this is like 2.0. It's Spencer and Jordan like
Yes, it
on
is.
crack. Like Carlton, I think in some ways is worse than Jordan.
A
Just
hundred percent.
like of just like the things that he chooses to throw in Will's face constantly. Like
Yeah.
Carlton is just, I can't, like, he's a character I don't think I can ever fully root for in a real way because I feel like there's never any growth. Like, even though we feel like we take 3 steps forward with him, he always just has this superiority complex. He doesn't see nuances. He only sees things in black and white and how his daddy taught him and his privileged little rich bubble, and he just doesn't get it. Like his whole life is Princeton, and anything beyond that, anybody else's struggles, anybody else's pain, he just doesn't care. And like with Will, y'all are not friends, y'all are not cousins. If Carlton has an envious heart, he can't ever have Will's best interest at heart, which is what you said at the beginning of the season. And I tried to give it a little, oh, it seems like they're on better footing, and it seems like Carlton is trying not to. He just is so quick to switch up on Will whenever things don't go his way. And instead of looking in the mirror, it's like Will's ruining my life. And I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
9 was diabolical work. The whole why don't you go be a thug like I was like,
The
oh,
the
okay.
you're just the
So
same thug. I said,
I was
oh,
like,
so now we're using white supremacist talking points again. Got it.
right.
Bet, like when
Oh,
I tell you, I was so
I was
clocked
like, bet,
in from
bet
the
yeah.
money.
start, episode 9.
Honestly,
I was like, you bet, ho, bet,
I
Carlton.
needed. Yo, for real talk, if Uncle Phil and Aunt Vivian wasn't there, yo, Will was about to run him that 2 piece fade, like real talk, because that was so out of pocket, so out of pocket. It ain't his fault that your girlfriend got a drug problem and almost OD, bro. Like they did y'all a favor not telling you like right then in that moment because you are a you don't take things well, and that they thought that he was gonna have another freaking panic attack, and then you want to switch up on, and not just that, you snitch on him. about the fire. You didn't even give him the chance to come clean about that shit.
Well, the snitching was so
Oh,
predictable.
It
To me, it was
was.
just like it was so predictable to me. That's another thing. Like Jordan, he's so predictable. So I just knew his tantrum, and then when, Viv and Phil, I think that was after they were like Will was about to box his ass in the throat. It was just the whole like, oh, so now everything's gonna be turned on me. Oh, but what about Will? I was just like, go ahead, Carlton, go ahead and do what you're gonna do because you know
Yeah.
you're gonna stitch on this boy. It was so
After he
predictable,
called
like
the
the
boy a
script was
thug and a
written.
convict in the making, I didn't give a damn. It was just like, okay, whatever. Like, of course that's
Right.
coming out next. Of course, like you call him a convict in the making.
It's like, well, yes, you're gonna snitch, but I'm more like, wow, like you really went there. Like, I don't think we've had Carlton go there like up until that point. So I was like,
Since season 1.
okay, I knew that was always in your ass. So just be real. Like that's always gonna be the go-to for him. So I was just like, Carlton, I'm good. Like, I think I remember episode 10, like, I don't know. He kind of did something
He
to
was like
like
proud of Will for making
offset
a
it.
decision, but he still struggled with Drew.
Right.
Like, if they don't
No, but it
liberate
wasn't
Carlton
enough.
from the shackles that is his privilege, I don't
Mm.
ever see myself ever being able to fully like vibe with him and like,
It's not enough. It's not
because
enough.
the
Like
way
to
that he
me,
keeps that tucked in
ugh,
his back pocket, I could never trust him. Like, I could
it's
just
nasty
never
work.
trust him.
Nasty work. Like I just really got Spencer and Jordan teased like on 1,000. I was like, this is what it will always be. Like, is if you continue to envy Will for the traits that you don't possess, nor do you even put effort to try and develop any of the traits that Will has, y'all can never be on the same footing. And Will continue to try and continue to put himself out there and try to have Carlton's back, and it will never work because Carlton will never see him as an equal or even understand that sometimes people are just more evolved than you, and that's okay. Why don't you just try and catch up? Like, he just doesn't get it. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of them trying to push the two of them together. I kind of felt like, well, you need to disengage from the whole business side of it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just could never trust Carlton. I could never work with him, share the same space as him. And Will is the only person that had Carlton's back when it came to, flaming hot Cheeto. Uh, respect that girl because she's beautiful, but I'm just saying,
Listen,
like, Little
listen here.
Mermaid, Siren from the depths of hell, he is the only one
Mm.
who had your back. Because poor Lisa, like, while I understood why she was trying to like think about Carlton's happiness, like, girl, you needed to tell Carlton as soon as you found out, because Will heard it from you and Will sat on it for a little bit, but literally in the episode he acted. So, and then everybody's blaming him the next episode. I was just like, oh, okay, see, this is where
I
just
do
Lisa
think
pisses
that
me off
Will.
too.
I do think that
jump
Will
on Will
jumped out the
back.
window in approaching Amira.
Yeah.
Like, we
I
could
mean, I understand, but
on
I just
y'all's
thought it was
pitch
with good
day, y'all could
intention.
have did something. Like, you could have diffused another way. You know this girl. Like, let's be real. This girl is basically Carlton, but with a little bit more gumption and perspective. So it's not
Yeah.
like you don't know what you're dealing with when it came to Amira. And I'm not blaming him for her crashing out, but I do feel
Mm.
like he stoked the fire with her, and it was part of his ego and trying to get her back for pointing out very real things that she.
That's true. That is true. I can get it. I don't know. I feel like the way she was just rolling up on everybody at that damn country club. I was like, this girl, I just feel like set out on like, I'm gonna seek the well, no, because she sought Lisa out after the Will situation. So he really could have just kept it cute because I think she was just like, oh, where's Carlton? He could have just been like,
I
girl,
would have told her
not right
ass
now.
somewhere way across the country club, and she'd have. Oh, he wasn't there. The pictures already
He's at
happened.
home. He's at home.
And for me, I
Yeah. So
love
he could have.
Lisa.
He could have. I
I
understand.
love
Hold on
Lisa
1 second,
down.
real quick, Kofi. Hey, Cap Sam, are you here?
Oh, I'm here. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to like
I'm
speak. I
here.
didn't know if it was like giving you trouble. Okay,
I'm here.
go ahead, Kofi.
Yeah, and I love Lisa down. I think she proved time and time again that she's a good partner for Will. But Not too much of my boy. Okay, like the way she came at him in 9, I'm like, damn, Lisa, like he's struggling with this too. Both of y'all, like, just like
I
stole my
think it
boy
was
out for a
less
little
about, I
bit.
think it was honestly for her, I think it was less about the whole Amira thing and more of what she has already spoken about this season in reference to him not seeing her problems and her struggle either. And like, there is no great way to bring it up. I personally think that Will should have never said nothing about Black Sus in that moment because you already know that Carlton not fooling with you. You almost beat his ass that morning. He called you a convict and a thug. He's not thinking about how y'all gonna make the next best business deal. And while you could be trying to like forgive people and like Carlton said some things and he ain't actually mean it, so I'm gonna let it ride, he's still very much so in that place. So you know that's what Carlton dealing with. And the question that I would have is, in listening to your girlfriend for the last 70 days, because they kind of gave us a little timeline of how this summer was. You've already heard that she doesn't feel seen, she doesn't feel supported, she feels like her problems take a back seat. Are you sitting down at this table and thinking about what's going on in her head? Because if that's not what you're thinking about and you know what's happening in Carlton's head, then you're already off base. So to sit down and for one of the first things that you bring up to be Black Sus, I don't necessarily think that she was wrong to be like, damn, you're just moving on. Because he couldn't even ask of like, how are you? She can't even get in the water. Like, to me, I think it was more of that, but because Amira is like clouding her mind, she used Amira as the words, and it was more of like, this is a perfect opportunity for you to just show up as her boyfriend, and you couldn't even do that because you worried about Black Sus, when at the end of the day, make the damn decision or don't nobody really care.
Yeah,
It's
I have a
very,
question. I have a
very
question
true.
in that
I
too. I have
understand.
a question in that.
Mm-hmm.
What was what's her name again? What was that other girl's name? What was her purpose in the whole show?
Who?
Like, I'm still confused. That girl that was doing the most with Will every time he with his
Oh,
girlfriend. Well, I don't know her name.
girl.
Amira?
What's her name? Jackie. What's her name? I don't remember her
Oh.
name.
Oh,
That
God.
light skinned girl. Well, what's her name?
She wasn't in these 2 episodes, so Jackie,
But
are you
what was
speaking
her
about
purpose?
her?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What was her purpose of being in the show? What was the
That
whole
your
purpose of it?
question is as good as ours.
Because here's the thing. I remember the review that Erica had did. I don't remember if it was a week or two ago, and she was talking about that girl just keep popping up, and it's about how they keep putting her in the picture, like they trying to use this her likeness and her likeness to like cover Jackie. I didn't like that. I was watching that review and I kind of felt that way too. I didn't look at it in a colorist kind of way, but how they was putting it out, and that show was like, yeah, she's this girl and she's this other. Why she keep popping up? And for real, Will was not checking that girl like that. Like he was allowing her to do that shit. So why? What was the purpose of her coming back? I don't get it.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
This
really
think,
give
season,
you
okay,
a.
if
what
I'm gonna
was the
be
purpose of that?
honest and I'm gonna do my job and and I'm not gonna be biased, Jackie's purpose was to be a call to Will's hood side. So in this season, we start off with him launching into his life in Bel Air. He is thriving in it. He is feeling at home in it. He's no longer, like we saw in the past 2 episodes, struggling with straddling the fence. And I think that Jackie was supposed to be a visual and figurative reminder of the hood and the conflict that he experienced by way of her, was to create that tug of war that he didn't necessarily have mentally like he had before, because he had like made peace with certain things, but it's still pulling at him. Is he still
I can
down?
only
Can
ask
he
the
be
question.
loyal
I can
to
only
it?
ask that
Is
question because
he
I honestly didn't know what the reason was, her purpose. Because I thought that's what was Jazz was. That was his friend. That's Jazz reminded him of that. That's what I thought Jazz was
I
for.
love like this has come up because this whole discourse around Erica and how she's criticizing Jackie and how Erica is just so terrible because she's
Yeah,
criticizing Jackie.
I didn't like that
I
topic either because
love
I literally agree with every damn thing that you had said. Every word. I didn't get that hate either because it didn't make no sense in it. And it's funny after you had that whole reaction and everything, after you said what to say a couple episodes down, all of a sudden now they made sure to put Lisa as the center now. Like, come on.
I
Come on.
think Jazz's point is like to show how it can be done. And I love Jazz as a character specifically because some people were like, somebody said, and I've already deleted the comment now, but it's like, if you're saying that Jackie is just weaponizing her proximity to the hood against Will, then what is Jazz and what's the other boy's name?
Zaire.
Yeah, I can't
Zaire,
remember
what are
his
they
name. His
doing?
homeboy
And I
from
think that they're
Thompson.
perfect examples of how you can be of the hood, but not, or be from the hood and not necessarily of the hood in every single aspect. Those two characters never, ever utilize where they come from, the likeness of where they come from and what Will comes from to pull Will back to it. Every single interaction that Jazz and Zaire have with him, whether they are from the hood or not, are interactions in the hopes of like lifting Will up, either better understanding him, because at first Zaire thought he was just bullshit and it didn't come from where he come from. But then when
Somebody in the comments said Jackie's purpose was drama. I'm not gonna lie, I
when
agree.
they got to when Zaire and Will got to a place of understanding, Zaire never utilized his mutual shared experience in reference to being from the hood as a weapon against Will or as a thing to dissuade him from assimilating into the Bel Air culture, from enjoying things within the Bel Air culture, from even liking parts of himself that he developed as a part of being in the Bel Air culture and the environment. Versus the Jackie character creates conflict for Will innately a lot of times just by almost like, oh, you can, it gives this vibe to me of like, you're enjoying this too much, and if you're enjoying this too much, you can't be real no more, you can't be down no more, you can't be this, you can't be that. And it's like, who are you to say? Will decides who Will is, and he will always be from the hood, but he does not have to be the boy that never grows past a certain point because that's the point that's most comfortable to you.
Correct.
I mean, I do feel like Jackie was doing that, but I also feel like she was doing that because she wanted him to. I mean, come on,
Which
two
is
things
what
can be
my
good. Why she
problem was.
definitely was
People
doing
latched on to me pointing out that she's mixed and pointing out that she had pretty privilege and completely bypassed the part of it that I said. The problem with like with her coming in this particular package is how she's utilizing that. She's manipulating Will, which was my issue. But they wanted to take it and say, oh, she has a problem that she's mixed. She has a problem that she's light skinned. No, I have a problem that she's a manipulative ass heifer. That's what I got a problem with.
And that's not compelling at all. Like, if there was anything like more, but they're intentionally writing her storyline to be that. That's all we see of her. So it's not like the writers are taking her any further, which leads me to believe that who she appears to be is exactly who she is.
And
Exactly.
That's okay.
there's so many things that you can do. Like low hanging fruit for me, y'all, as a writer, low hanging
It's a
fruit with
trap.
Jackie to give her more depth would be a little mixed girl in the hood who wants to get out because clearly you want to go to Juilliard and your uncle has utilized your pretty privilege for his needs or whatever, and you had the little beat with Will and you realized that was wrong and you tried to apologize, but that didn't put y'all off track. Now she has to grapple with when and where she uses her pretty privilege. I don't want to just be a pretty face. I want you to know I can dance. I don't want to just be a pretty face. I want you to know that I'm on a debate team. I don't want to just be a pretty face. I want you to know that I really am into mathematics. Like that to me is a story that you can tell because there's plenty of women who actually have pretty privilege and they want to be taken seriously. They don't want to just be looked at as a pretty face. Y'all could tell that story with Jackie, but you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Jackie was using her prettiness and she was using her whatever she know from the hood against Will. That's what she was doing. She wanted him and she wanted him to feel some type of way. She definitely was using all of them as right at once. That's exactly what I think Jackie was doing.
But I don't want to spend too much more time talking about her because she wasn't in the last 2 episodes, and I personally feel like the conversation around her has brought a bunch of negativity to my channel in reference to people just not being able to sit with the reality of her character and my criticism of it. So
next subject.
Yes, going back to the last 2 episodes.
I understand the Lisa.
I think we all agree.
Your Lisa explanation, yeah, because I think I was just so off put by like it just felt like everybody's gonna blame Will. It just felt like they were blaming her. Well, Carlton definitely was, but Lisa, I think it was just all wrapped in there, which I think that's the point of your explanation is, but it's not really about Amira. And so in that instance, then yeah, because we're not gonna act like Will hasn't been impulsive either, which also plays into this decision making of like, no, you didn't have to necessarily be the one on your presentation day to be the one to hold her accountable in that moment. Especially when she was like, it felt like she was taken off guard and she wasn't necessarily going to you looking for like any confrontation. So yeah, I do understand how we could have accelerated, like just her.
But she was crashing out regardless.
But she was
Exactly.
crashing out regardless. He probably just like sped it up.
And
maybe.
and Kofi, I'm just so glad that it played out the way that it did, because baby, I will never forget the way you were just so down bad for like, let's give Carlton the benefit of the doubt and a chance. Once Carlton fell in love with this girl, nobody was ever telling him anything, and I knew that this was the result of that. Like, everybody is to blame, no matter. Hold on one second, babe. No matter how many lies she tell, no matter what it actually is, he's going to lean to what it seems to be. He's going to navigate and negotiate in his head how she can be right and how everybody else is wrong, and there is nothing that nobody can do about it, which is why I called her dangerous from the very beginning.
Oh, you're right. You get to gloat on this.
I'm not gloating. I was just reiterating so that that's something that people can see moving forward. Like, let's be clear. Like, I'm a play around and I'm a joke and I'm a kiki. But I think that Bel-Air, at least for me, this year in like commentary, I think that Bel-Air is doing, or has put me in the best position to do what I actually want to do here. And that is examine a lot of the things that we actually deal with without us actually having to go through it. So I'm saying this not to gloat. I'm saying this so that people can open up their eyes and be mindful of the people that are navigating around them. Be mindful of the people that you're falling for. Be mindful.
That is true.
Yeah, I agree. It was gonna be expected. So, I mean, but yeah, that's it. I got nothing on the Carlton tip. Like, to me, the two episodes that really stood out were the ones with involving Jazz and Hilary. Like, those were like, those really stood out. Might have been some of the best writing and acting I've seen in a long time. It was really good. If I'm gonna be honest, I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought Jazz was going, do what he was going to do, but it was very noble and he did the right thing. And frankly, I mean, he may still have love for Hilary, but I think he about to try and make it work with old Congresswoman girl from the one that's trying to run for office. To be quite honest, am I the only one that didn't catch?
Me too.
I wasn't feeling it. Like episode 9, I was like,
me either. No, ma'am. No.
Young champ, no shade, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little 10-second timeout because I don't use that word on this channel. We don't use that word on this channel, especially when describing black men. But yeah, y'all. Okay, so y'all feeling me on this? Like, okay, and this is the thing. Like, I really wish that people were just more perceptive about me, because I feel like I be very clear. Like, I feel like I'm a very expressive, straight, like, give it to you straight, no chaser type of person. And the same way that I looked at Jackie and had certain criticisms, I look at that girl and like how she was behaving down there at the damn precinct. And ma'am, you didn't put up the bail. What the hell are you talking about? Why are you looking like this? You're giving entirely too much energy for me. Pipe down.
Wait, what'd she do? What'd she do? Like,
Kofi,
okay,
there was so much non-verbal things jumping off of her, and it's like, girl, we get it. You want Jazz, but relax, because you weren't the one coming down here with the bail money.
It's like you're staking your claim for what? Like,
cocked her leg up and pissed all over Jazz, and I was like, girl, it is never that deep.
It's not that serious. Like, okay, girl. Go ahead and take him home, I guess.
Clearly, he thought about it. I mean, he thought he was going to move with her, but like he told Hilary, like, I can't even go there with her because of the unresolved thing we got right here.
But see, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about her. Like, I can't get on board with her and Jazz, period, because she gives that desperate energy that women sometimes have, where you got to do too much. Jazz has love for Hilary. That is going to be the case. You can't do shit about it. You can't piss on him. You can't shit on her. You cannot do anything about that. So to behave in that way with like this very snarky, weird ass energy, and maybe it's because I'm a girl's girl, I don't know, but it was immediately off-putting for me. It's like, girl, I'm immediately never going to be able to get on board with you and Jazz. Whether you are a sensible girl who's known him from high school and love him down or not, you operate with an energy that I don't vibe with like a perspective and a mindset that I don't vibe with. Because at the end of the day, if that man is for you, he's going to be for you. And we gotta do a better job, I feel, of honoring people's journeys in life. And if you're the next in the old just standing right there, then honor the fact that he had feelings for this girl. Honor the fact that she just bailed him out of jail. Honor that. Don't do too much. Don't be ridiculous. Like, if you have to do all that, that's telling me that you know deep down in your heart that he's not yours. No, stop fighting over dick, please. Please stop fighting over dick in 2024.
And it's also off-putting because I don't feel like she had any context with Hilary either. Like, you don't know the context even behind the energy with Hilary and Jazz. So it just feels like you're trying to stake your claim. Like, you haven't even gotten anywhere with Jazz either. So it's like you don't know the context between him and Hilary, and you have really no stake in it yet because nothing has progressed. So it just all felt like too much. Like, you don't have a bone in the fight right now, but you're acting as if you do. It's just like I don't necessarily like that energy.
Honestly, it's the same energy that Jackie holds. So baby, I'm gonna check it no matter what package it comes in.
All right. Fair enough. What's up, Micah?
Micah!
Oh, she's muted.
Hi, Melanin. Welcome in, boo. It might be a little delay before they realize that they ain't in. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily rooting for her, but whew, I am rooting for Black people seeing closure conversations such as the one that we got to see with Jazz and Hilary. My word. I was immediately like, okay, I think I'm about to skip this next scene when they said, okay, let's just the night. I said, well, y'all not about to hunch, are you? Why would you do that?
I think
joked about it though, low key.
See, the thing about Hilary, I think Hilary loves them both, but I think Hilary's choosing what's comfortable for her. I think she's choosing what she feels is comfortable for her. I mean, Marcus has it all. He has this. She really doesn't have a lot to worry about being with Marcus. Whereas Jazz, she loves Jazz, but she's probably thinking about all the stuff she go, probably Jazz don't have this. I think she's doing what's comfortable for her. That's why she keeps asking questions about her mom. And what did dad do? He kissed somebody else. And all the questions she was asking, I think she's doing it for comfort. Because
I think the exact opposite.
Just like that, they just killed them off. Just like that, they killed them off. I knew that was gonna happen. But guess who's gonna be the next horseman? Just the right to go back in. Right, it's Jazz. Like I don't like how they writing Jazz in this thing either.
Cap, I appreciate your perspective, and I would love if y'all agree with Cap, let me know in the chat. Do y'all think that Hilary, in choosing Lamarcus, was choosing the most safe and comfortable option? Because I think the exact opposite. When I tell you I'm so proud of Hilary this season.
She has grown, though. She has.
And I think that I think that Lamarcus was 100% not the most comfortable choice because it required work. It required her to confront, like she said, she told Jazz, I do run. So she had to now stop running. She had to really negotiate with herself, making decisions that were going to soothe her ego and tell him versus hold it and not, and like preserve, his peace or whatever. Like, she made certain decisions as it pertains to her career to put him first. Like, I think that this relationship and this time in her life she made a bunch of active decisions to grow as a person because she didn't necessarily love who she was. And I thought that they did a really great job of showing what that looks like and making the hard choice. And to piggyback off of that, it's like one thing for her to make this choice to push herself forward, but I think that she also realizes that Jazz was not ready for her. So she could choose him, and that would have been the most comfortable choice because it's easy, because they have this passion and this energy in this moment. But there's still so much work that Jazz needs to do that we have not seen him actually start to do. While we watch Hilary make a choice and get into a relationship and push herself forward as it pertains to her growth as a woman, as a human, we watch Jazz make decisions that literally kept him in the exact same place and distracted him from the work that he needs to do.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Sorry, my thing was muted. I couldn't unmute it.
It's
So,
okay.
what you think?
Oh, I've never been happier. I've never been happier for somebody to die. Never.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Micah.
Well, before you go into all that, Nia, did you have anything that you wanted to add to the whole
Oh
Lamarcus
no.
choice being whether it was the harder choice or the easier choice or the more comfortable choice?
Oh, well,
Okay,
I
but
feel like this is
before
further.
she answer that, can I clarify what I meant when I said
Yes,
that?
yes,
Because
yes.
somebody literally just said it in the chat about the lifestyle. I would talk about the lifestyle itself. Oh, I wasn't talking. I believe she's in
But see,
love with
the
Jazz and she
lifestyle
wants
she
to
was
be with
gonna
Jazz.
have regardless. Her daddy gives her
I
that.
think she would have to work a little harder with Jazz because Jazz don't have much, and Lamarcus already has it. That's
But
how
her
I'm
daddy
thinking.
got it.
And money was never the issue for Hilary. That to me was more Jazz's projections that he couldn't be
Okay,
enough
let's
for
go
her in
back to
those
when they
terms.
first started talking, when the season first started, and they first started, and how Jazz, his insecurities, and how because Hilary has it and he don't, how the whole thing. So if that's where you're coming from, where Jazz needs to work on him whole self in order for them to be right, then yeah, I get that point. But I still feel like she chose Lamarcus because he's the comfortable choice. He already has everything. She already has everything. They can work and do whatever with. Jazz, I think he personally, as a person himself, need more work. Whereas she's not gonna want to deal with that now. Where Lamarcus is the comfortable choice to go with. I don't know. That's just what
I
I'm
don't know.
thinking.
I think it's something to be said about a woman and I just be
Yeah.
out my goddamn self. I swear on these in this content because I there's something that I am like leaning into admiring about a woman who can make a choice to go with love because she does really love him, but she's also going with the man that loves her more in this particular moment. That to me is something that kind of like blows my mind and feels like the most difficult thing to do because it
I can
goes
see it.
against what I feel like we've been taught. So
Lamarcus and Hilary to me are literally and not exactly, but very
wait. Sorry,
similar.
Micah, real quick. Naya was going, but Cam wanted to clarify.
Okay,
So before you go, Micah, let Naya get hers off.
go ahead.
Oh, um, yeah, I feel like my opinion of Hilary's choice in Lamarcus was only solidified with these last two episodes. I think I mentioned on the live prior that I just felt like her choice was right. If she was pursuing Lamarcus, I felt like that was the one that in this season of her life was the right one. I feel like last season he did everything in his power to pursue her, not aggressively. I don't feel like it was too much of pressing her. But I think him in the way that he pursued her in season 2 and in the way that he has shown to love her in season 3, I think allowed her to um I think examine certain parts of herself, like Erica said, like wanting to sort of be better in different aspects of her life, whether it's career, making space for a love that's a little bit more willing to push her out of her comfort zone. I feel like we felt like Jazz was maybe the one to push her out of her comfort zone, which I think in some instances, yes. But I think Lamarcus, to me, is the one who was really like the one to, I think, push her to a new level of just complexity. Um, and I really enjoyed the Lamarcus and Hilary storyline this season. And I feel like Lamarcus has been able to provide things for her in a way that Jazz is just not capable of doing right now. And
Exactly.
while he was pursuing, like while Jazz pursued her at the end, I feel like it was for all the wrong reasons. And I don't feel like we're at any better place at the end of this season. I do think that their conversation of closure I thought was beautifully done. And I think fully encapsulates that you can have all of these amazing things with this person, chemistry, passion. I think Jazz is able to see Hilary in a way that other people just won't. And I think that's beautiful and that's great. But I think that conversation fully encapsulates that it's just not the right time. And I think will Jazz and Hilary get there? I think they can, but I think just the nature of that conversation and her making the conscious choice to still choose Lamarcus, 'cause I feel like Jazz would have been the easier, more comfortable choice for her actually than actually stepping into something new and what's better for her at this moment. I felt like that was just that I just feel like it's not done a lot in TV. Like usually you have those moments of like, oh, she's gonna go back to the one that she, that she really should be with, and you think that it's Jazz, but I felt like Lamarcus was the right choice, and I'm very proud of her for making that choice, even though it would have been very easy to fall back into a rhythm with Jazz. So I don't know, that was long-winded,
No,
but
that was
I
great.
thought it was all beautifully done. I was itching because I felt like I wasn't seeing enough of Hilary, but I felt like her beats this season, now seeing it in its entirety, I thought were the best, like some of the best moments of the season. And I
Yeah.
hope if they get renewed for a season 4, they just dive even deeper, especially the way that the season ended. Which Lord, you know, I
Micah,
can't have anything. I
before
can't
you
have
go,
anything.
Micah, I wanna, cause Naya, while you were talking, what came up for me and like you saying, um, pushing her out of her comfort zone. Yes, Jazz pushed her out of her comfort zone, but I feel like Jazz pushed her out of her comfort zone in the same way that Will pushes Carlton out of his comfort zone, in reference to the juxtaposition of like lifestyle and backstory or whatever, or history. And Hilary responds well to that, and Carlton doesn't, which I think is a thing that speaks more to like the Bel Air kids and like what they're capable of, and maybe Hilary could be a thing where Carlton aspires to get to, which is a whole other thing. But Lamarcus to me pushes her as a woman, and then also the choice of him aligns with the woman that she wants to be. It might not be the woman that she is yet. Choosing Jazz right now does not actually, to me, make sense if she's aspiring to go somewhere else, because she's already so far ahead of him. When Lamarcus as a person, the decision to be with him, the decision to show up for him and support him through his medical crisis and to walk into this wifey role, it really aligns with discipline and commitment and the loyalty that she wants to cultivate, that she has felt like she typically runs from.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Micah.
It's hard to go after. Naya makes me not hate Lamarcus, which is a problem because I want
I
to hate
am
him.
honored by that, Micah.
Stand on it,
But
Micah. Stand
no,
on it. You ain't never want nobody to die as much.
okay.
You did say that. I would.
The better choice is the better choice.
Hold on.
At
Micah,
this
you like
point,
low. Is she low to anybody else?
Yeah, she's a little low.
can you hear?
Yes, that's better.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay. Lamarcus is the better choice in this moment in Hilary's life. I can agree with that. I can totally see it. Jazz is on a spiral in his life. He just got out of jail. I understand all of that. But at the same time, I don't know, something about Lamarcus and Hilary just remind me of Lando and Simone. One, because they bore me, but two, also, he loves her more than she loves him.
Micah,
I think
now
he
you didn't said it, not me. You didn't said it, not me. Because what did we say when we talked about when you get bored? Maybe that's an examination that you need to explore, baby, because it's
You're
getting
right.
indoctrinated into what we all are convinced that if it ain't fireworks and y'all ain't going to this and that, and if it ain't it can't possibly be that part. And I think that's the thing that like is
It's
truly
very interesting though. It's very interesting. Though,
I am
to, like,
so
dissect
enamored.
that.
I am so
It's
enamored
so
because I
good.
was that girl. Like I was that girl, but
Mm-hmm.
now I can see like no, I want a quieter,
Like
easy,
steady.
like
Ugh.
the problems that Lamarcus and Hilary have to face are like life problems, not them problems. Like, why do I want to like fall in love with somebody who I'm going to be like this with at all times? Meanwhile, the world is steadily whooping our asses on a day-to-day basis. I need all of my energy to focus on achieving these goals of getting out here and making my mark and my impact. Like, yes, choose a
Like,
love where
we
you don't
need.
have to convince this nigga that you love him every day. Man, I'm out here trying to convince everybody that I'm a bad bitch with a great opinion, that you should listen to me. I don't have no time to convince your doofy ass that I love you because I love you. What do you mean?
No, but it's interesting because I feel like we're all conditioned to want the passion and the fireworks and the back and forth and the chaos and the jump
Yeah.
off a cliff, like that feeling, and it's all throughout media. I mean, all the TV shows like I grew up watching, like that is what is always depicted, like that's the desirable option, and that's what the fans who watch shows, especially YA dramas because it happens the most, like that's the ones that those fans like most fans gravitate towards. And then when you do have the more quieter, steady, the quiet trains in the night that don't have to make too much noise, but they're just as powerful, if not the ones we should strive to want, those are the ones that it's like crickets. And it's amazing because it's like my mindset has had to evolve as well. Like I want a pillar of love. I don't want an anchor. I don't need something dark and intense when the world is so dark and intense already, like, and tumultuous. And like we think tumultuous is equates like long everlasting love, and it's just that's not really what it is and should be.
And I
So it's
love
very
that for you at
interesting.
your
It's all
age,
very
Naya.
interesting.
That's something to pick up. Like for you to be getting that right now, I am just so enamored and so excited for you to have that now.
Ugh,
Because I
but
spent
Yeah,
my
that was,
yeah.
20s, I spent my
Mm-hmm.
20s going hard in the damn paint for these niggas in
Mm-hmm.
that's
love.
what might be my young college babe. Like, I'm not looking to
We
be
can't
lost
really hear you,
like
Micah.
for that type. I said, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it might just be because that's where I'm at right now. I'm in college right now. My mind is not into the whole. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be with this guy that's like, oh yeah, locked down for me. That's not where I'm at right now in terms of relationships, and maybe that's why it kind of bores me when I watch them. And not knowing that he's a good guy, I'll say that. But my thing with Jazz and Hilary, that the writers keep saying, and I understand why they broke up. Jazz, they keep bringing up, oh, it's so difficult it's so difficult. It's always like we can't agree on anything, and it's like other than the fact that Jazz and Hilary broke up because he was insecure and she couldn't take it. But other than that, I never saw anything that was like, oh, we were always arguing. It was always this problem. We were never like at peace.
I think that the part that was also implied was the difference in lifestyle and the choices made within lifestyle based off of mindset. And that
Right.
part
And
can be very
yeah.
hard as well. Like, and what's coming up
Mm-hmm.
for me right now and like all of what we're saying is you can pick a partner that you have this electricity with and it's just so much and it's intense and all of that, but how much work do you want to, and I think this just depends on where you at in your life, but how much work are you trying to put into fighting with the person that you're supposed to be partnered with versus dealing with the things that you need to deal with yourself. Lamarcus created a safe space in this relationship for her to be loved properly, and that freed her up to be able to deal with the things that she had going on. In a romance with Jazz, she spent so much time being distracted by his bullshit that she could not work on herself. She could not really work on her business. Like she could not really do what she needed to do for herself. And like, why would we want that for ourselves when you really sit down and think about it?
Yeah.
Mm.
And it always did feel like it just feels like with Jazz and Hilary at this point in time in the story, it feels like something else will pop up. If it's not one thing, something else will pop up. And that usually means that two people are just not aligned. So as much as you can want it to work and as much as it's like, well, I mean, there's all these things on paper, that work and just the vibe is there. Ultimately, if it always feels like you're fighting against another demon when you pop one down, like whack-a-mole, like something pops up like whack-a-mole, then it means that you're just not aligned at that point
Yeah.
in time. And I just think that's what they're facing. It doesn't mean that they're bad for each other, like entirely. It just, like I said, I think it's maybe right person, wrong timing. But
That's
they're just
exactly what I.
misaligned right now. And I think when you're so misaligned, it's really hard to like make a go of anything. I think if Jazz and Hilary were to get together at the end of the season, I think it would go against the whole point of Hilary's real journey this season. And I think it would just fall back into the same rhythm of season 2 because I feel like Jazz hasn't learned specific lessons. And I feel like Hilary has taken such a big step at the end of this season that it would feel like she's still on another level than he is. And he's trying to catch up. And it would be the same problem again. So that's
I
always
think
been my
also,
issue this
y'all,
season.
something for us to consider too is like we need to have more of the conversations about putting people in appropriate buckets in our lives. Sometimes we
True.
think that because you attractive and I'm sexually attracted to you and you're sexually attracted to me that we're supposed to hunch and we're supposed to be in a relationship. But some people are really just supposed to be your friends. Some people could be your soulmate in a platonic way. And it might take you trying it and then realizing that we don't actually align in this way and the timing is never quite right in this way, but we have a night like the night that they had, smoking weed and eating ice cream and just being honest about them where they were, and you realize like, yo, we're really, really great as friends because their relationship works just fine as friends.
And I think that's interesting. That's an interesting beat that I think I've been coming to that conclusion more and more subconsciously with this season, is that getting to the end and that conversation, I feel like if they were to never give it a go again, I would be okay, because I feel like
Yeah.
what they have transcends romantic. It's just, it is really, you find somebody who you, and they get you, and it's something really unspoken, and it, there's so much there. It doesn't necessarily need to be put in a romantic bucket, like to your point, Erica. So I feel like if they were to never do it again, never go there, I would be like, the friendship is enough.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, no,
hear what you guys are saying.
I think they're soulmates. Soulmates can be friendships, soulmates can be relationships. It can be either one. Now that God has called his son home, they
Oh my God. Not you invoking my Lord now.
Micah.
Micah
Oh,
goes
this is
crazy
even
in
worse
here.
right here.
Micah said,
Oh,
listen, I'm gonna get it off regardless.
Okay.
Low key, real talk. When I heard his middle name was Trevor, I'm like, oh dear Lord have mercy. I'm like, oh, there
I
it
said I
is.
fear Lamarcus.
They
Oh,
saved that little tidbit for the perfect time because it's like, oh, this is what we doing. That's y'all. All y'all had to do was say that.
Right,
Lamarcus
say
Trevor
less.
Alton.
Why get my heart invested? Lord Jesus.
And it was like, oh, he about to be out of here. And I'm trying to figure out, I mean, was it the travel that caused his heart to go
No, I
bad?
think
Was it
it's the drinks. I think it's too much drinks, probably.
Nah,
think
I
it's
fear
gonna
his
hit
heart
that
was always
later.
touch and go.
So it really could just be anything.
Hey,
But the thing I
Chanel.
wanted to say,
Hi,
hi,
Shanoa.
is
so,
sorry, I didn't have a chance to jump in there. I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but also I still think she loves Jazz more. But what I was
yeah,
saying before Erica got in is that I don't blame her for choosing Lamarcus. And truth be told, I feel like a lot of people would have chose Lamarcus. It feels like the path of least resistance, in my opinion, especially because in a patriarchy, the way men are raised up, I just feel like the men has to love you more for it to really be truly valuable for you, because they have proven in studies like getting married for women is like a net negative. Like, we live shorter lives in partnerships that are unbalanced. So I don't blame her at all for choosing Lamarcus. Like, there's a lot of things that he could give to her in the way of like that easy, like safe love. But I also said in that same breath that like sometimes you don't you don't marry the love of your life. Sometimes you marry the guy who loves you more. Sometimes you don't go with that guy that you have that passionate, fiery love with, because you realize, like Naya said, you're not aligned at that moment. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Do I still think that Jazz and Hilary would probably get together? Yeah. Do I still kind of want to see them together? Of course. But that's just what I wanted to say. I agree with like everybody, kind of.
I think it's
I hear
interesting
you.
because I am just now, I feel like in the last 4 years, getting to a place of like accepting and understanding that. I don't think that that's something that has been taught of like women
No.
fall for the people and like get with the man who loves you more. I grew up with women who went to hell with their men, and like I was a woman who did that in past relationships. And even now, I think about Cam and that damn interview he did with Dr. Cheyenne Bryan. He said he wants a woman who's willing to go to hell with him. Like, why are you even trying to take her there? So I think that's beautiful for you, Shanoa, but I would argue that the majority of women, specifically black women, are not equipped and empowered with the knowledge of, like, baby, you need to probably be checking for the man who's checking for you more than you are checking for him at the time. I
And I
have
also,
been raised
yeah.
and like saw women moving mountains
Yeah.
to make love work.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't really see that growing up. So you might be right. Maybe I did say earlier that I thought a lot of people would choose Lamarcus, but maybe not. But I understand
I
exactly
know I
where
wouldn't
Hilary was
have. I
coming
would have
from with that
chosen
choice.
Jazz. Like,
I mean, yes.
before
Yeah.
getting to where I'm at now, I would have chosen like without a question. And I'm like, damn, that is so toxic. But it would have been what I did.
I might have chosen Lamarcus.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I like a tall nigga personally.
I think I would have been very like, before getting to this place in like a much mature in a much more mature state. I would have been scared to choose Lamarcus. It would have been so many things in reference to, like, if I'm putting myself in Hilary's shoes and like her choosing to tackle the journey of like growing as a woman, there still could be a little bit of angst and like shame to like, well, I'm not good enough yet. You know, like all of those things would have came up, and it would have been like, well, babe, I don't even have to worry about that with him. And he dicks me down the way, da 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 da. Like, my daddy got money. Jazz would have been the easiest choice. We vibe. It'd be a little bit of arguments here and there, but who don't argue? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been easy.
Right.
But to like have to make the decision to choose a more solid, specific, grown-up love that would require more of me as a person. Ooh.
Yeah.
I can do that
And
now.
But I feel like it's easier on her heart though, because the thing that she keeps talking about is that she is so afraid of going through that pain that loving and losing Jazz has already caused her, that she is scared to try. That's why I keep saying that going with Lamarcus is easier for her, because
it's easier in that way, but it's not, to me, it's not necessarily easier on her heart, because she still struggles with a lot of guilt to like, if she can live up to what he actually deserves. So it might not be, you know, you necessarily getting hurt, or you're like running from you getting hurt, but I think she's still very much so contending with like the hurting of this person that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I hear you guys. I didn't really comment on this, so let me get my 2 cents off on this. I thought this conversation that the two of them had was good, open, honest. Wish more people would do it in real life. I think we'd be a farther way in the society between men and women if more men and women had those honest conversations about what didn't work in their relationships. I'm still trying to figure out how her engagement ring ended up in his sneakers, but that's
Me too.
but there
weren't
you
they
go.
high?
Toasted. Yeah.
At one
Well,
point, they were smoking weed.
So
well,
hot.
yeah, that's true. And then he came through, and then when he saw her through the when he came to her room and he saw her in her wedding dress, he was like just in awe on her, and you could just tell that he still loved her. And then they did a trick bag. He said, "I can't let you get married without this." And I thought, okay, this is Jazz doing the mature thing, because you love somebody a lot, you let him go, and he did the right thing in that moment. And saw him in the background, put his shades on. No, he was probably crying behind his shades, but hey, man, that's what it is. So, and you just live and learn. Now, if Lamarcus is gone, like he's gone, then I'll be interested to see how he navigates that, and what's in store for them in the future, because that sucks for Hilary, and I hate that for her, that she had to go through that. I mean, it was less comedic than it was in the original sitcom. Like, this was just straight up sad. Like, you marry this man, y'all having your honeymoon, and then his heart gives out, which was just so tragic.
Hey,
He had
hold on one second, Kofi. Hold on, because you're going to a bunch of different points, babe. You literally took us all the way to the end of the season, and we were talking specifically about Jazz and Hilary. Hey, Cindy, and hey, Pinky. How are you, huns?
What's up? Yeah.
Cindy, you there? Pinky? Okay. Well, maybe they're gonna catch up once the delay. They hear the delay
Yeah.
on YouTube. Is there?
Hello.
Hey, Cindy.
Good evening on this fantastic, fabulous Friday.
What's up?
Hey.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to sound off about Jazz and Hilary?
So, I just had to join. I was gonna try to stay in the cut, but I just had to join.
Okay. You want to add, or you just want to listen right now?
I was just thinking when I was listening about the choices and who she chose.
You're gonna have to mute the YouTube, babe, while you're in Discord, because there's a delay with it. Cindy, you're gonna have to listen to the audio in Discord, hon.
Okay. All right. Is that better?
Yes.
But now I can't hear myself though. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can
in
hear
live
you.
time?
Yes.
In real time?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you in real time. Cindy? When you guys come into Discord, mute your YouTube, and then you have to listen to the audio in actual Discord.
Okay,
so
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Okay. Pinky, did you want to add anything as it pertains to Jazz and Hilary and the choice?
Okay.
No?
Is that better? Yeah, but now I can't hear myself though. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Cindy, I'm going to move you to the waiting room while you work it out, hon. All right. Anything else as it pertains to that before we move on to talk about the end of the episode with Lamarcus passing? Anything else in reference to the conversation around Hilary's choice with Jazz?
No, I think you said everything.
Wait, Kofi, one second, babe, because I know that you want to move on, but I want to give space and I want to compartmentalize as much as possible. Sometimes you usher us through to another topic, and I'm trying to stay focused.
I was just gonna say, like, I agreed with everybody's point. Like, it's something that I hadn't really considered. That y'all made it crystal clear for me in that aspect. So it's like it was very nuanced and very detailed. Like I rocks with it. So that's all I was gonna say. I wasn't trying to rush.
Okay.
I just have one last thought.
Mm-hmm.
It just made me like the whole like topic of like, quieter loves and the ones that don't necessarily jump off the page, but those are probably the ones you should strive for. I remember watching some show, I don't remember what it was, but it was this character and she was describing to her partner what she saw her parents had, who were married for like years, and she basically was like, I want what they have, which is their ability to she would watch them like just sit and like read the paper together. They wouldn't say anything, but it was just like silence, and like that's the love that she wanted to have with her partner. And I don't know why this popped up, but I feel like that's the love that I want to strive for. Like this, sometimes you don't need all of the turbulence and sort of the chaos and sort of the back and forth that can come with some relationships and just with some people. Sometimes just like the stillness, like that's what I'm striving for with any kind of relationship in my life. Like what is bringing me stillness, peace, and like contentment, and what is pushing me to greater heights in terms of like development. And I just feel like that, to me, watching Lamarcus and Hilary, that's what they encapsulated for me. And like that should be the goal for everyone, in my opinion. Sometimes things don't need to be that hard, and I always say that if it feels too hard, it probably means it's not meant to be in the moment or just in life, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to take what's in front of us and just understand that it's not always meant to be. If it feels hard, it probably is.
I am
Yeah.
just so grateful for the time period in which certain things are being presented to me.
Mhm.
And yeah, I've been chewing on, honestly, the feedback that I've gotten recently of like I am too personal in my critiques or in my criticism, and I'm like, I that is my thing. And this
How else
particularly
can you be?
but this particularly is so dope for in reference to this storyline coming at this time, because I just got back to LA yesterday and I just have been able to breathe this breath of fresh air and like because I was going back and forth between my mom's side and my dad's side and all of my obligations there. And one of the things that have come up for me has been like wanting a partner that can support all that I have to navigate with my crazy family, whether it's business or personal. Like I've had a grandfather who had a stroke last week, and I have my mom is dealing with mother wounds and father wounds, and this is it. And I still have my mother. Like I am the person within my both sides of my family who speaks truth to light about things, who doesn't let things slide, who try not necessarily in like a harmful or like malicious way, but like wants to unearth things so that we can heal. And that becomes just such a very daunting thing, and it could be very exhaustive on me. And when I got back here, one of the first things I thought about was like in a relationship, I will want to come back home to a man who could just support me and help me hold the weight in that. So I literally would not have any room to be arguing or to be jealous about other stupid stuff. Like I literally was thinking, I want a love that is going to be able to support the woman that I am and the woman that I'm growing into. And then we get these episodes, and I'm like, that is personally what I really feel like Hilary's journey, specifically with Lamarcus, is. And it requires you asking yourself very real questions about who you are, where you are in life, and what you need. And I think we need to be more honest about love not just being something that happens to you or like hits you over the head, but it is an active choice often. And we have to like choose better for ourselves and set ourselves up for success. And it doesn't necessarily have to look like what we were told it was supposed to look like. But like for me right now in the season I'm in, I'm like fully able to like better like etch out what this vision of my ideal partner would be. And it's specifically tied to the need, the very real needs that I have, the places where I feel most alone, the places where I feel like I need to grow, the places where I need to be held accountable, all of that. I don't know if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense, but that's just what
No,
came up.
definitely does. I think that it just takes an awareness of where you are in your life. I think um turning 24, I mean, I don't know if I'm more evolved than some people. I don't know, I won't put that on myself. But I just feel like I'm in the season of wanting to cultivate me and like having a very hyper awareness of what I need, what I struggle with, all of those things so that I can lean more into the love I want when it's time. And I think that, like with Hilary, I think there's a confidence in very important areas of who she is. Um, and I think Lamarcus only helped her develop more of those. And I mean, in some ways, Jazz is as well. And I think she was able to put all of that together to get to a more elevated place at the end of season 3. And I think it's just important to be hyper aware of who you are first so that you're able to lean into what works and what doesn't work. And it really
And
just starts with you first.
and to piggyback off that, Naya, like I love that for you, because in getting to that place, what that also does for you is equip you to best know what you bring to the other person. So in addition to like knowing what you need from somebody else, you also can pick someone who is in line with like need of whatever your strengths are. And I would argue that the same that was also what was going on with Lamarcus and Hilary. Like what she was able
Mm-hmm.
to bring to him into that relationship would directly needs in his life. And she offered the same thing to Jazz. And because of his lesser socioeconomic status, because of his ego, because of all of these things, he treated her strengths like problems or making them the villain, when in the relationship with Lamarcus, she's able to just beautifully flow in the things that come naturally to her, and she doesn't have to defend them, she doesn't have to shrink them, she doesn't have to package them up a certain way so it's perceived in this way. Like, it just works. So in addition to you making this choice for this man because you can grow into your best self in that way, you can also just be your
Show
best
up as
self.
yourself, like,
Because
already. Yeah.
because who you are is literally filling holes or whatever that this person needs naturally.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Michael, was you about to say something?
No, I was just agreeing. With all y'all said. Because at the end of the day, even though I do like Jazz, I like just the way how he moves, his swag, everything. The truth of the matter is, looking at it from Hilary's perspective and looking at both guys, Lamarcus at this time point in her life is just the better guy. And I kind of give it Belair props. Like most shows, they would have pulled the he comes into the wedding, stops it, she runs down the aisle and runs away with him.
Had to
But
pull
they went
down.
through it. And they decided to go with maybe not the popular choice, but they decided to go with a choice that made sense for the story. And I can appreciate that.
I mean, people
Yeah.
were giving Jazz credit and saying he was mature and didn't pull a Dwayne Wade. I would love to like divorce those two ideas. So like, I personally don't feel like Dwayne Wade was immature in that choice because damn, not me drawing a blank on Jasmine
Whitley.
Guy's character Whitley.
Whitley.
Because Whitley was making that choice not out of love and like she had
Right.
cared for that man, but she did so.
She didn't love
I feel
that
like she
man.
was making more of that decision out of obligation, out of timing, out of like, well, if you don't want me, somebody does, which is way different than what Hilary is doing. So we can't, like, I'm not saying that you said that, Michael, but somebody in the chat put that earlier. We cannot one-to-one those things, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no.
And I never doubted Jazz wasn't going to be the man that he showed up to be at the end. I think he loves Hilary, and I think that at the end of the day, that's what the whole their closure conversation was about, is like all of the reasons why it's not working and why it didn't work. And I didn't have any doubts that he wasn't going to play his position and just accept the fact that this is where they are. So to me, it wasn't surprising. So I didn't feel the need to give him extra cookies for it or not. I just was like, this is how, because Jazz, regardless of his flaws, is a very honorable person. And it does love Hilary. So I wasn't surprised. I was like, that's exactly what I expected him to do.
Yes.
Maybe that was just me.
The closure combo didn't feel very closure to me.
At the end of the day, he just wanted her to be happy. Like when he was giving her the ring, he maybe before that he thought maybe I could stop this. If she said no, he asked her, "Are you happy?" She said yes, and he let it go.
Yeah.
And so he walked in the room saying
He was like, he told Wills like, "Yo, man, she left her ring at my crib, and I'm flying all the way here to Martin's Vineyard. It's fate." So initially, it's Hart, and after hearing what she had to say, I think he was able to make peace and let it go, and he walked away, maybe with a heavy heart, but he walked away and just decided to, just let it play out the way it's supposed to play out. And that's what we got to do sometimes, I mean, you love somebody, you just gotta let them go, man. He did.
It's just so interesting to hear, to know, like, to know it's like, I don't think it was like it didn't feel like a closure conversation. I don't know. I've gotten to accept the fact that I've released myself from Jazz and Hilary ever being together down the line. So if it does happen, I would have to see a lot. Like, Jazz has to do a lot to development wise for it to even get to a point where I can champion it. And even if it was meant to be, I wouldn't want it to happen immediately. Like it's either going to bake in the oven for the amount of time it needs to, or it's going to be rushed. And I'm going to be like, exactly. So I'm just kind of like, I don't care if they're ever together, but what I do know is that they are meant to be in each other's life in some capacity. And sometimes that's enough for me.
I think when Chanel was saying like she doesn't feel like it's closure. I think she means like, so like when we think of closure, you maybe think like, well, okay, so we accepted that we don't love each other maybe as much as we did and we're moving on. I think like in the conversation, a lot of people, at least I saw it as really two people who made decisions, well, more Hilary, who made a decision she's gonna marry this guy, and despite the conversation, she's still gonna do it. Not that she doesn't love jazz but she's gonna stick to what she decided to do. And I guess it depends on what the definition of closure is.
So
To
I'm
me,
so
that's
glad that y'all are
closure.
debating this, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to rehash it right now. But in my breakdown, I
Mm.
do a whole segment about closure in this particular conversation because I do feel like that there's a little bit of a mind as it pertains to what we know closure to be. However, there's to me a bunch of like redefining things happening within this season. So it made me reconsider the way I look at closure. And I talk about that in my breakdown, so I cannot wait to post that video because I really explain it and I think that y'all gonna like it.
Yeah. I guess my definition is making peace with what was and understanding what it needs to be now in order to move forward. And that to me is what that conversation was. Regardless of what it could be down the line, what people feel like it should be, it's two people coming to the understanding of like why it didn't work out and why this is where it needs to be right now. And if it is, like I said, if it happens in the future, if it doesn't, cool. But for right now, and the undetermined future, this is what it is. So that to me is closure. And that's to me what the conversation was, regardless of if people want them together or not. That's not what either of them are thinking of. To me, it's not what they were thinking of in those moments together. It was rehashing the past because they couldn't get over the past. It was constantly getting in the way of every interaction. It was loaded with everything that happened in the past. So for them to finally talk about it and to understand that this is where we are right now, that to me was closure, because they had never had the conversation like just calm, no like throwing jabs, no getting under each other's skin. Like it was just a real honest conversation of what was.
Yeah. I think some people think that closure is like closure. When you say somebody, so people have closure, it's like the end all be all. And in this case, it probably isn't given the story. It's not the end of Hilary and Jazz, but that's why I think some people don't agree that it was a closure conversation, because when people think of closure, they think these two people are now gonna go their separate ways and never speak again. Is what I think some people are thinking when they think of closure.
Yeah. Didn't feel like closure to me. It's like, yeah, they acknowledged it, but I agree with you. No, that didn't seem like closure. Closure would be, well, that's it. It never worked out. We thought we loved each other, and we don't. When clearly she admitted out of her own mouth that she still got love for him. So I don't
But I
know,
guess
man.
I just don't equate all that. Like, I think you guys are attaching it. What I feel like, well, I'm not gonna put like speak for you guys, but I feel like you're equating it with the love that they have for each other, and I don't think like that doesn't really tie into the closure for me. Like, or they're never gonna be in each other's lives again. Like, I
agree.
I understand that they love each other and they know that they love each other, but that doesn't necessarily correspond to they need to be together later on down the line. Like they're always going to be forever connected. And I think a lot of people want them together so much that maybe they can't come to terms with the fact that maybe they're just there's a reality that they're not supposed to be together, and that's okay. Like, but there is a capacity in each other's lives that they will be in each other's lives, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be romantic even with Lamarcus dying. Like I just, like I said, I've accepted the fact that if they do it, cool, but I would like them to do it the right way and give it the time and space with them both being able to meet in the middle, because that's been the problem. Jazz not being able to meet Hilary where she's at on a consistent basis. If they do it that way, cool. But if they don't ever go there with Hilary and Jazz, I can live with that and sleep peacefully at night, because they are meant to be in each other's lives, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be together. Because I've seen what it looks like without them being together, and to me, that works perfectly fine as well. Like they could just be two platonic soulmates, and that can be enough.
I
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
Things she just said.
I agree. I think
But
like at
that's
the
just
end of the day, they needed that conversation to kind of move on. And I think even now that Lamarcus is there, I think Jazz is gonna move on. And I think Hilary, like Jazz, is gonna be the last thing on her mind during this time. So I think that conversation was good for them to both be able to move on to different chapters. Not that they don't have love for each other, because I think they do love each other. But I think it was good for them.
Hey,
I
So
agree.
it was
Cindy.
so it wasn't closure. It was closure on the relationship that they had. But they'll see each other around. They friends. They good.
Yeah.
That's how I define it.
Yes,
Yes.
that's how I see it too.
Hey, Cindy. You back? Can we figure it out? All right, y'all. While Cindy works it out, like Kofi mentioned, Lamarcus doesn't make it out of this season, and we get to see his untimely demise,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like other ways I would want to see that happen, but I think that they actually did the best option.
No, but
Um,
do we really think he's dead?
mm, I didn't
Do
think
we
That's
that he
really think
true.
wasn't
he's dead?
dead.
If he's
Michael.
not, he needs. If he's not, he needs to be. I mean, at this
Oh
point, his
God.
heart must be tired.
Damn.
His heart must
Yeah,
be
with you,
tired.
Micah, huh?
No, she said no. He need to be gone. Mm-mm.
I'm crying.
It's not for
I
any
am
reason.
done.
Not for any reason other than the fact that his heart is tired. Like it's time to
Oh,
let
you
it
tired of
go.
him? You said you tired of his storyline. He need to go, huh?
Micah been
God.
Not
tired.
for him.
Micah's
Just
been tired.
Yes, I
like
think so.
he
Can you hear
said,
me?
Wait. Quick question, y'all. What about the Ashley storyline?
Well, wait, before we go there, let's deal with the rest of Lamarcus.
I was just saying, he just needs to give up the ghost. Like
Mm-mm.
we all have a time to die, and I think he was holding on
Oh
to
Micah!
that.
God. What
Oh
the
my lord. God damn. Look,
Hey,
man,
she's
Micah, we
he
hey,
all
had
have a
to
time to
fight
die
me.
goes crazy. Like, what are
you
you
know she
talking
feel and
about?
she's saying it strong and
I mean,
proud.
it's not his
You.
fault that his heart is bad. Like
God.
he had, so,
I'm,
and this is what I'm tripping on. Like he
Oh
had open heart
no.
surgery. I figured that he'd be. I'm not saying cured, but he wouldn't suffer any more complications. So the fact that he had another cardiac arrest is tripping the hell out of me. Real talk.
Well,
Like
open heart surgery, if anything, opens up more complications. So
And then
to
he
me, his
started
heart was
drinking. What did
always
he
touch
tell
and
Coco? I had
go.
to start drinking right
So
away. Oh, wow.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. He's either dead or not. So it's
No,
either a
I'm listening
fake
to
or
everybody.
he's dead. I don't know. It's 50
I'm
50.
listening to everybody's perspective. I'm starting to think that he probably not even dead. They gonna bring him back. They love to do ropey dope, but maybe he is. Who knows?
I think he might be gone.
Oh
He,
Lord.
he might be. He was
I
looking a
never
little
doubted for a
gray.
second that he was gone.
Oh Lord.
He gone, y'all. He
Okay,
gone.
bye. Rest in peace,
if he's
Marcus.
not dead, if he's not dead, he needs to be because and it's like
Oh
serious.
my
On
God.
a serious note, though,
I swear,
he's
if
probably
he's
been
not dead, hey, I promise
no, no.
y'all. I promise
On
y'all.
a
If he's
serious
not dead, she done killed him more time on this conversation. He dead, y'all. He dead. He gone. He gone,
on a
bruh.
serious note,
He
though,
gone for real.
he's probably been holding on and fighting because
I think the name alone is killing him. He dead. I promise you, ain't
ever,
no coming back now.
Micah
they
done already
thought they
passed
were.
the collection plate.
he
It's
I
wanted to
like
feel
have this
like
life.
Micah. I feel like your intentions, low key, are not true, friend. Like they're not pure because I feel like you just want him out the way.
Yeah, I think she just,
That
but she hold on,
pissing
be
me
careful. I
in.
think she just want him gone, bro. I think
No,
she want him gone.
Micah, is
Nah,
this
Lord.
true? Do you
Micah has
really?
booked
You
the venue, and she
Let me
got the
find out
person
she
who's
a
gonna
part of the
sing his
script,
homeboy
child.
selection booked. Like Micah is not playing with the market.
Michael, you said he
yeah,
was holding
no.
on. What
Okay.
did you mean by
No,
that?
listen. Okay, he has probably been holding on because he wants that life with Hilary that he's dreamt of in his entire life, and so he's been holding on this whole time. The man's heart is tired, y'all. He is tired. Like he was probably fighting so hard, and then seeing Jazz at the wedding and her hearing all these stuff, his heart just gave.
Oh
It was
God.
just
Okay,
tired.
well, I'm gonna put a different little spin on that because I was thinking like, is it a bad thing? And
Hmm.
No,
No.
we
Yes.
we get
Wait.
that you're
What?
saying no, Micah. We got it, babe. where I went to, like, y'all gonna judge me regardless, but where I went to was, this is a man of a certain level of means. He achieved a certain level of success within his career. He basically has gotten everything that he has wanted except for Hilary, and then he got that. So that's how I am. Like, it sucks,
so
but
good.
I'm like not rationalizing it, but I'm like at ease with it because I feel like he died accomplishing everything that he has set out to do.
And
Well,
I feel like on the
So you're saying, like, because he got with Hilary, he was able to go in peace? Is that what you're trying to say? Like,
I'm not
he has
trying to say
nothing.
anything. I said I think he got everything that he wanted out of life, and that to me is bringing me peace. Maybe he's at peace, but it's bringing me peace with his death. And then it's taking from, then the next thought after that is a little bit darker, so I'm leaving room.
I was trying to put in my Hilary piece, and I feel like on Hilary's end, it's like better to have loved than to have lost out on the opportunity to feel a love like Lamarcus's, and I feel like it's pushed her to greater depths. So regardless of if that man is dead or not, which I'm feeling like he probably is, I feel like he's taking her
he
to
gone. He gone. I'm telling you right now, that man is gone.
But then to Hilary's thing, though,
he's not gone,
how many of us get to fall in love with multiple men and then experience them? So, like, the death of him frees Hilary to later on go on and actually, if she wants to see this whole thing through with Jazz, to do so completely conscious free.
Right.
I definitely thought that, and then I also was thinking that with Jazz and not Jazz, Lord, with Lamarcus passing away. I mean, not Lamarcus passing away. Excuse me. With their relationship, Jesus, Chanel, what are you trying to say? They taught her also how to be a little more selfless, because remember, she put her whole career on pause to help him recover and help him get back to him, to show up in the way that he wanted to show up, because she knew his goal was to be back in the NFL. So she helped sway like public perception and did all that with his appointments and stuff. So like, she has gained so much from her relationship with Lamarcus, as short-lived as it might be, considering if he's gone, that I just think it was just worth it. Like, everybody got what they needed to get out of it, and I feel like nothing else was needed from him at this point. Because I kind of had this
before that heart attack even happened, prior to the last two episodes, did he look sick or look like he was tired or look like something was wrong with him before? Did he look that way? Or because
there was some point where he put his hand on his chest at some point, I can't remember when, and I was like, he looking kind of pale.
Because I remember at one point Hilary was the only one concerned for his health. Everybody wanted him to get back to the game and all that, and she was more concerned for his health. And all of a sudden, we didn't really hear any more concern about it. And then all of a sudden, he had a heart attack.
I don't think it was enough. That was why it was an obvious cliffhanger, because if there was any indications, like anything leading up to it, it wasn't clear enough, because that's why I was like, oh shoot, what?
Right. It came out of
so it wouldn't have had the same impact if there was any kind of indicators. Not that I remember beforehand.
No.
So I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I think I just saw him put his hand on his chest and it was like, ooh, he looked sick. But maybe I was tripping. You know, I could.
Was that when he was singing? Noah? I feel like that was when he was singing. I'm just being funny.
Oh
no,
no, but the only time we actually do remember him sick is from the couple episodes where Hilary was the one that was like, I think you need rest. I don't think you need to get back out there. I don't think she was the only person that was like. And after that, we never see anything about concern about his health or anything again. Everything led up to now they're planning wedding. We didn't really see if he got better or if anything. It just stayed that. Now he have a heart attack.
And it also has been months. Remember that, because his recovery happened soon after the kiss for Jazz, because she wanted to tell him like in the next couple of days after, and the day she told him was when he collapsed. So it's been months since then. So he's slowly but surely been
Oh,
getting back to it. Because remember,
yeah.
they said when he was going off on her about not telling him about the kids, he was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that was
he did
months
say you've
ago.
been lying for months.
So
Yeah.
he's been on the mend for a little while now. So he's slowly but surely getting back to himself. But you know, it's always
That looks
complications
like
with
it
heart
came out
stuff.
of
You never
nowhere.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was best for them to prolong it because first I thought they were going to kill him in episode 3. That didn't happen. But it was better for them to stretch it out so that she could grow and learn with Lamarcus. But now that he's dead,
Oh my
I think
God.
it is.
I swear, bro.
She like celebration. She was like, damn.
Yeah,
She
bro.
was like, when it almost
No,
happened in
I'm
episode
really,
3, she
I
was like,
promise you, the
damn.
funeral was already
Like,
had
damn.
already.
I almost had him in episode 3, and then at the
And then
and then she like, he's
hilarious.
finally gone. Great.
I'm telling you, he in the grave already. He gone. He dead. He
On
gone.
a serious note, Lamarcus, I don't think he would have had much purpose in the next season. I think as an individual character, like take out Hilary, him as an individual character, as much as he's liked, he's very much perfect. And I don't know, what story do you tell about a guy that's
They could
In
have done
this
something with
world,
the
you
football.
need. I
the
feel like you
football
need the
aspect.
perfect people in this world because everybody's soaked up. They even took on him
Ooh.
on Viv and tried to make her swinger this season. About to make me jump all the way off the boat with her ass. But y'all, I'm going to keep this open real quick. I'm going to pop out for a second. I can still hear, but y'all can still continue to munch on and discuss. I guess Lamarcus is deaf if Michael wants to hover here.
I'm actually
something
gonna
about
pop
it.
out. I'm gonna pop out, but I wanted to say goodnight to everyone. So
Good
I'm
night,
gonna-
Naya.
Naya. It was so good
Night.
seeing you and hearing your voice again, girl.
I know you too, Chanel. I
Wait,
wanted to
Naya,
pop on
before
for the
you go,
homecoming.
did you have anything that you wanted to say about Will and Lisa?
Well, wait. See, listen, this was my disclaimer. I don't really remember much for episode 10 because there was, well, I do remember, but it's I gotta rewatch episode 10. Y'all gotta tell me. Remind me what happened. Did something new happen with them at the end of episode 10 that I'm not remembering?
Well, they just
Remembering?
are in a really good place leaving the season.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
Okay, good. Okay, good. That reminds me because I don't think I was focused on them too much because of everything else. So that means that was a good thing. Well,
Okay.
y'all, listen, I go down with Will and Lisa. Sorry, Lisa is the best match for Will until I see otherwise. And
Period.
we made it, y'all. So, anyways, next. Bye.
Anyway,
Bye,
though,
y'all.
good night, Naya. Thank you.
Bye, Naya.
sadly, y'all, I also have to go. College assignments are kicking my ass right now. But Lamarcus is dead. That's very sad. Will and Lisa, they're fine. I was confused as to why she was upset at him at first, but then I heard y'all explain it, so I kind of it connected because I wasn't really paying attention at first. But I gotta go, y'all. Sorry.
Thank you, sorry,
Bye,
not Naya. Micah.
Micah.
All right, y'all. Where we going next? Where y'all want to go next, Kofi? You've been doing a great job.
Wait, can I ask you guys something about this Lamarcus thing? This is a hypothetical, so you don't have to answer. But this is something I was saying earlier. This was my thought. I don't know for sure if I still feel this way, but do y'all think, because we were debating whether or not Lamarcus is dead, I think he's dead, but if for some reason he was still alive, do y'all think it's a possibility that Hilary would have cheated on him with Jazz again?
Nah.
No.
I think she's locked in.
No, yeah, she's locked in. I don't think so either.
I don't think so. Especially after the closure talk, so I think that.
No, she's not that girl. You can tell.
Yeah.
No,
How much being there on the inside, so she'd do that to him again.
I actually agree with the other girl. They would have been good friends. I just think that. I don't even think they would have. No.
All right, where we going next, y'all?
Can we talk about how baby Nikki is coming?
Yes.
I forgot about Nikki. Low key, I legit forgot of that. In the OG that Viv got pregnant again and had Nikki. So I forgot about Nikki. If I'm gonna keep it real, but yeah, we about to get baby Nikki. This is gonna be which which is weird because they haven't been, Vivian has said that they weren't, sexually active for like 2 months because of the whole Eritha thing. So for her to just pop up pregnant, it was like that kind of, that threw me off a little bit, low key.
Well, we know they got it on in Punta Mita or wherever it was.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
because they
That's
didn't do it with the swingers. For a second, I was like, "Oh no, she's pregnant by the other guy," but then I was like, "Wait, they didn't actually do it."
yeah,
So, but we know that they didn't get with the swingers, but they had their own little moment in Mexico. So that didn't surprise me.
Wait,
yeah.
who's pregnant?
On Viv,
Viv.
Oh,
she's about to be. Yeah, they were just talking about how they were about to have an empty nest with Hilary leaving and the boys going to college and Ashley going to high school. Like they wouldn't have to worry about kids again. And well, they had other ideas. So
yeah. A
No,
cliffhanger.
literally, they were 4 years out.
They
So close.
introduced that
She fumbled at the
perfectly. It was
line.
brilliant. It was such a brilliant segue into this little
Yes, it
Nikki
was.
storyline.
It really was. I
both of us.
forgot about that.
Yeah, like I legit forgot that they had a fifth Banks child in the original. So I didn't think they were gonna do this, but hey, we here. So oh,
Listen,
so
what's gonna happen with Geoffrey and his family?
no, Jeffrey got to
I
come
don't
back and
know.
you will. That's what I know for real. Like you better go get your brethren back. Like we can't have the main protagonist be kidnapped now.
Do y'all think that Jeffrey is gonna go all the equalizer on them or what?
Yes.
I would
Are they
imagine
gonna
so.
show us that? Because
No,
I still be struggling to really believe this whole backstory.
they're not gonna
Like
show. They're just
I
gonna keep
understand
talking
what they're
circles.
saying about it, but I just don't be feeling it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, it
Like
makes
Oh,
perfect
I
I
sense.
got a
okay, I
question.
get it, but I
What
don't
was
feel it.
what was the old what was the older Jeffrey? What was he supposed to be?
Roman. He was supposed to be a guy that was in the London gangs that he used to run with back in the day. And when Jeffrey ran away, he was supposed to look after Penelope and his child Frederick. But then he got hemmed up and got locked up, went to jail. So he wasn't
See, I
able
think that's
to.
gonna be the next storyline for season 4. Or you don't?
And
I don't think they even gonna show what happened.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it sucks that Will got
I don't
kidnapped.
know. I feel like they're gonna I don't know. I think they're gonna make that a big part of the storyline is like getting Will back, him being kidnapped, because I feel like otherwise it'll
Well,
feel
that definitely
pointless.
gonna
Like
be
if
the
y'all
storyline.
kidnapped him at the end of this episode, just for him to be back safe and sound, the beginning of next season will be kind of like anticlimactic. So I feel like it'll probably be a big thing with like
I
Jeffrey
mean,
coming back
I feel like it's
and
gonna be a
getting
big
him.
thing. I feel like it's gonna be a big thing, but will they show Jeffrey's action and all of this? Like, would they show his storyline, the background, and all the stuff that he's been doing? Would they make that a part of the storyline, or they're just gonna make this whole getting Will back and try to see if we can get Jeffrey back, and that's it? They're not gonna show any, you know.
Hey man, I wouldn't mind if they did some Top Boy. It's time for me to get into some action here. I mean, like up the ante a little bit. You know what I
Yeah, because
mean? So
they're talking Jeffrey like Jeffrey's a Top Gun assassin or something. So, are they gonna show something
Right.
that Jeffrey done?
That's why I was asking, like, y'all think he gonna go equalizer? I hope they do that and they show a little something.
That
I
would
don't
be
know.
hard.
I want them to make me believe it because I just don't yet.
No.
Like I understand everything they're saying. I get the setup, but I just don't feel the truth behind it. So maybe if they show a little bit of that gritty, like action, more of it,
And
I'll really get into it.
and what about his
yeah,
woman? I don't trust her. I don't know why I don't trust her at all.
yeah. I don't
I don't,
know. Trust her either. I
I don't
mean,
trust her, bro.
but anyway, look, I got a dip, so I'm a howler. I'm gonna get out of here. So I'm gonna say peace, y'all. All right,
Okay.
Chanel.
Bye,
Take care.
Sophie.
Bye.
Bye.
Dang, y'all.
Listen, I don't trust Penelope at all. I
Wait, who's
I don't
Penelope?
know. I haven't trusted her since Frederick was like, "Oh, I'll choose her over you," and they've only known each other 3 years. I don't know. Something about that was just so weird. So I'm like, how? I don't know. I know he's her mama, but I'm just like, I mean, she's his mama. Excuse me, but I just was like, why is y'all bond so strong? Like, have y'all been through something together? I didn't get it. So I don't really trust nothing she be talking about. And the fact that she was willing to let Geoffrey get caught up last episode, and he had to be the one like, yeah, I'm definitely peeping what's going on. You think I'm dumb? I see these people trailing us. Where you trying to take me? You really trying to have me set up right now? Are you on my side or not? And he had to flip her back
Like
to his
for
side.
real. Like
Is
I'm sorry.
insane.
I agree, bro. Like I don't. Mm-mm.
Why am I having to flip you
Just like
back
my
to my
intuition.
side?
Erica intuition was right about this damn Amara. I feel it's right with this woman. I don't trust her.
Yeah, I think
If she
she's
stay
more a
acting
part
up.
of it. And the fact that she ended up leaving Frederick when the whole plan was like she was gonna raise Frederick and that Geoffrey was gonna come back, and she ended up leaving Frederick
Oh my
too.
god.
I feel like something about this is like maybe she's more involved in like
Yeah,
the street
I do
business than we
believe that.
even think.
I'm
She
probably
gotta
Or
right.
be. I don't trust
she
her in a
right?
shifty
Or
ass
am I
wig.
I believe
pulling that
that.
out of my
I
head?
believe
Because
that.
I'm like, why did you end up not keeping Frederick? Like, I know Roman couldn't look after you,
Yeah,
but
I
you
believe
didn't
that.
keep
It's
him at
more
all. Are you in the streets
This is
too?
gonna sound very diabolical, y'all, and I guess I'm kind of sorry, but I mean it. Niggas struggle with kids every day, B. Single moms struggle in poverty every day, B. Why did you give him up?
That's what I'm saying. I thought I felt
well,
like
yeah,
me for saying
agree.
that because I didn't
Agree.
understand that part. I was like, huh. So maybe
But how
she's
she
more
look,
involved in
she
the
look like
street
she
business
been
that they're
fine.
even telling us.
Well, she look like she look fine and she been living fine.
Like, did she fill the power vacuum after Geoffrey killed the head boss, or what? Or am I reaching? I don't know. Something about it.
Nah. You might be on for something because you know how these shows be doing it. But yeah, no, I don't trust her. Her beautiful self, I don't trust her. Mm-mm. And the fact that Jeffrey's thinking, oh my God, he got a family now. He got his family. He got his girl. He got his son with him. He wants to do better. Now he got to go through all of this. Yeah, no. It's like you can see how depressed he looked after that whole wedding ceremony. Everybody's just dancing. He's just walking around looking at everybody, looking at what he don't have.
My bad, y'all. I feel like he was more making peace and like saying his goodbyes. I feel like that's why he was
That too.
sad, not
That too. That
necessarily
too.
in being depressed about not having his family. I think that was him like literally saying his goodbyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's this? Okay. We talked about. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I said it in my
Okay,
breakdown,
sorry.
but I'm gonna say this too though. I'm proud of Phillip. Surprise,
Me too.
surprise. My God, I'm
Me
proud of
too.
Phillip for owning his part. Hold on.
Yes, I love the conversation that he and Will had where he said, I didn't recognize how much you were looking to me to be like the moral like compass that you follow. And I feel like a lot of parents be forgetting that it's not about what you say, it's what you do. And he
Mm-hmm.
really recognized like I'm not standing up. My actions are not proving the man I said I am. So now I got to put my actions behind my words and show up in a real way. And I really love that because it's basically, I don't think he said he was sorry. Did he say I'm sorry? But even if he didn't, it basically was like an apology and or at least an acknowledgement of something that he did wrong. And I don't know. I love that. Black parents hate to talk about when they wrong or when they could have did better. Like it's kryptonite to them. So that was really beautiful.
Why I was trying to figure out why wasn't Will's daddy at the wedding? Why didn't he show up? And why did it look like Will was mad? His mama was dating somebody else. I don't know. In that moment, I felt like he was mad because he wanted it to be his daddy or something. I don't personally feel that way. Where was his daddy?
I never expected Lou to be at the wedding. I didn't think about him one time.
Me either, child. Me either.
Like what? Coco? I mean, not Coco. Hilary don't like Lou. Will just barely liking Lou now. Like none of them like him. So I didn't expect to
I
see him.
only thought he was gonna pop up because I saw the mom popped up. Because I'm like, oh, so Will probably extended invitation, so now Daddy probably gonna show up with somebody too. But it probably just threw Will off guard. So I'm like, oh,
No,
but
Hilary invited her auntie.
yeah, it makes sense.
They like Vi. So as far as I could tell, whenever she visits, they don't have any
Yeah,
conflict. So um the other thing I wanted to say is that I was like proud of Carlton for 2.5 seconds when he didn't take that road back down into relapsing, because I really, the way they had it on his hand, I was like, oh wow,
I'm not gonna hold you.
wow, we really
It
finna
was
watch this
great.
happen.
It was
So,
really great.
so when he grabbed the bag and dumped it out the car, I was like, oh, got you at the 11th hour, baby.
I think I'm
I
probably
was
the
very
only
proud of
person
him
that
for that.
knew he wasn't gonna do that. I felt like he wasn't gonna do it. I felt like they were playing it up to show it. I don't know. Maybe I watched some damn shows, but I in that moment when I saw him with it putting up his hand, I said, yeah, nah. I knew he wasn't gonna take that. Knew he wasn't gonna take that. It just
No,
made
I
sense.
didn't
It
know. I
wouldn't.
thought they were gonna have him walk into the meeting high, and it
Yep.
was gonna show that he had relapsed. I was like, he's gonna walk into this group circle higher than a kite. And when they showed him knocking it off, I was like, wow, go ahead, Carlton, because that's really showing growth. Like
Because
you're
they
in
do
a really
they do
stressful
it for
time.
some people. For some people, they do the rope dope so much where they make you feel like the person's gonna go back down that road. But for Carlton's art, let me tell you, I'm not the biggest Carlton fan, but in these last couple of episodes, even when he's going off on all other people, Carlton actually made me proud. In this season, I'm not gonna hold you. In that moment, something told me I knew he wasn't going to do it. I knew he wasn't going to do it. It wouldn't make sense, though. It wouldn't make sense for him to go back because of that. That would be more ammunition for him not to go back. So I just felt like, yeah.
Yeah,
And all
but
he could have
I
thought
don't
about was
know.
Amara. And remember,
It could
Amara
make
was
sense either way. To me, it I wouldn't be surprised if her relapse triggered his relapse. Like it wouldn't be surprising at all. Especially the fact that they saw it, they had to revive her, they had to give um her the Narcan. Like that's a super
traumatic thing.
not gonna even get into that. That's a super stressful
Yeah,
situation. So
very
for
traumatic.
somebody who is a drug user, I could understand falling right off the wagon. And it doesn't make logical sense. But none of it makes sense. Addiction doesn't make sense.
And
So
I
him
also feel
watching
like
her
the talk.
overdose just to do it himself doesn't make sense, but I could definitely see it happening. You know
And
what I mean?
I also think that the talk with Amara's mom actually helped too, because remember he didn't know how. I mean, I already knew she was lying about the sister. That was the done fact. The first time she said it, she lying. Okay, but I think even the talk with her mom after finding out everything which she was going through, I think that kind of helped too. He was gonna go back to all of that. I don't know. It's just me. In that moment, I felt like he did so much growth. It would make sense for the writers to attempt to make it look like he was gonna go back in this final season. And I don't think they want if they're gonna have a season 4. I personally, from a show aspect of it, I don't think they wanted to focus on Carlton being a focus again, going back on that. They already had him one season being that they try to show the growth of the business. I personally don't think they would have go back in that moment and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely something that easy trigger for Carlton. Definitely something. And this was if he overcome that whole performance thing where he had to go on stage with Will and made the presentation. And I feel like yeah, him asking for the coke from his friends. His friends are telling him, "Look, I'm not about to be the one to you on a good path. I'm proud of you. I'm not about to do that." And him doing all of that, that was just all. And my point of view is coming from a show aspect because I know how some of these shows are. They love to put people over the edge, like, "Oh my God, here we go," and then that's not what happened. I felt like you could tell in the progression of where he was coming from that he's in a place where, yeah, that's something that he could have easily went back to, but with all the advice he was getting, all the texts and stuff from his mom, in that moment, I knew he wasn't gonna do it. I already knew he wasn't gonna do it. I didn't even feel bad. I already felt he is going to overcome that. There was no doubt in my mind. That's my opinion.
Given the given his easy descent back to the whole Will's a thug and he's gonna be a convict, I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure if he was gonna get on that book of sugar and we was gonna have to repeat the cycle all over again. There are countless people who are on a sobriety journey and they have to restart the program 3 or 4 times before they actually, get to make really, really large headway, and we get to see a mirror, right, as a repeat offender as well. So I think that it was up in the air for me of like which way they were going to go with Carlton up until the very last moment.
Yep, same. And he's only literally 2.5 months sober. That is no time at all. People relapse every day, B. I'm telling you. I have seen it. So I didn't know that I was proud of him for not doing it.
I don't remember the original show. Was he like that in the original show? Like really that bad? It's been years since I watched the old. It's just the whole first.
I mean, but this Carlton is diabolical just because he has this drug problem and all of these other things. Like, he's just dialed up a notch. So I would say no, but there's so many things that are so different that it doesn't feel like it's too much of a deviation from who he is in reference to who they reestablished him to be for this.
Because this Carlton is not even funny at all. No joke, just flat. Dry.
He has some interesting moments. I like Carlton as like the character, like a character, because he's an interesting character. But I don't like none of the stuff he be doing and saying he be doing.
No, I like Carlton. Carlton is an interesting character. He actually portrays a character that's I like his character. But he dry. I thought they was replicating the show. Regardless, why is this man so dry?
They're not replicating the show; it's reimagining. But I do want to say about Drew and Carlton, if y'all don't mind if we move here,
is
sure. Like, I feel like, I don't know if I was on the live when we talked about this way back when it happened. I don't think I was mad when Drew released that video. It was shady, of course. But I just was also like, but it happened though. So it's like, I don't know. I was sad that everybody was kind of blaming Will for it. But I was like, I'm not sure that I hated Drew so much for doing that. But so now in this dynamic where Drew's dad is the investor, but Drew is really taking on more of like the in-person day-to-day decisions with them and Black Says, how do y'all think that's going to pan out? Like, they're already butting heads so much. And it's like, I feel like I don't remember what their beef was before Drew dropped the video.
They didn't have no beef. They just didn't like each other.
Oh, wait. He was in the Black Student Union.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Drew just thought he was kind of fake. I think that's really how it started, right?
And then he started bringing Will around, made it worse.
So do y'all think they will end up friends at some point in the future or what?
No. Nope. Not one time. As a matter of fact, when's the last time we did saw Drew?
I think when Carlton beat him up, maybe.
Oh, so that was season 1. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think that was last season. But I know one of the things they really butt heads about, which is interesting because Drew is just as rich and spoiled and entitled, because they really dropped Drew into his rich Bel Air kid bag in those couple scenes that he was in. He was like,
he looks so plastic to me. I'm struggling with how he looks this season. It looks so different.
He was like, I've been summering with my parents in France or whatever he said. And I was like, oh yeah, I forget that he's really like that. He's like Carlton, but like he really cares about his Blackness, where I feel like
he was like that too. He said that Paris thing too.
Yeah, it's a really strong juxtaposition between him and Carlton. In a similar way with him and Will, except for the fact that they're both Bel Air kids. But Drew is still way more connected, I guess, I would say, in my opinion, to his Blackness.
Yeah. He looks like he's way more.
So I don't know. I feel like if Drew continues to see Carlton's growth in that aspect, like if we continue to see Carlton let go of some of his anti-Black traits and like some of his language and thought processes, maybe they could end up being friends. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
The way he regressed back to calling Will a thug was crazy. I said, thug.
Child, I already let him have it at the top of this. But y'all, I gotta get ready to wrap up because I need to prepare for my Power Live that is going to be happening very, very shortly. Any last thoughts on this season of Bel-Air? I also have my breakdown video, so we'll still be able to have conversations in the comments regarding the things that were down in the last 2 episodes and the other episodes I missed this season.
What's your thoughts on Ashley?
I was surprised that her and Eli didn't kiss. I thought that's what they kept setting up the whole
Oh,
thing
they didn't?
for.
What?
For them to have their first little peck.
They didn't.
They,
I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm just holding my breath and waiting with Ashley.
So I was a little surprised, but you know, I didn't care either way. She's still really young, so
yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty much all that was really going on with her is him. I don't know. I kind of wonder if she and Sarah are gonna be back or mend their friendships or what. Is it not Sarah?
I don't know.
Whatever
her
her
name. Olivia. Her name is Olivia.
Olivia. Where did I get Sarah from? I wonder if her and Olivia will mend their friendship at all next season. Maybe. That's the only really thing I really know that's going on. Like her and Olivia are on the outs, and her
dropped Olivia like a bag. Like, where did Olivia go?
Her and Olivia are on the outs. I thought like mad about the band thing.
They was doing a band, and then Olivia was being nice, and then she just got mad at Olivia, and then the band thing stopped, and then Eli show up. There's no Olivia. She ain't popped up back. What happened?
And did anybody else think it was crazy? Like he was there to audition for the band, but they ain't never
stayed around.
No music.
Ain't nothing about no music.
I thought that was crazy. I just knew in that episode where he came by that he was gonna do his audition. He never did.
But wait, in that last scene though, when they were sitting there and talking about kissing and all that, I don't know. I feel like he up to something. Am I the only one that got that vibe? Like he up to?
No, he's definitely up to something.
Can't be the only one that got that vibe. Like look and all that. I said, oh no, see, I was with it until that look right there. I be observing shows too damn much. No.
I don't know. I think the only thing he was up to is like he want to kiss her. That's all I thought about it. But I really wasn't paying too much attention to them, if I'm gonna be honest.
Right, because it ain't the prime storyline.
Okay, well, say I love the show. I can't wait till it come back. Wait, do we have a confirmation on a season 4 or what?
We don't.
Oh my gosh!
We're writing the script already. We in this crap writing the script already, and we don't.
Well, prayers up that it's not canceled for any reason, because I need these Black people, these monoracial, dark-skinned Black people on my screen. It really does something to me. Lamarcus's parents, the mom. I've seen that actress so many times before. I can't call her name, but she's so beautiful. Viv so beautiful, Coco so beautiful. I just love this
Coco
a
is
Black
so beautiful,
woman on screen.
She is so beautiful.
Fully Black woman on screen. So I hope it doesn't get canceled.
I don't think it will. I think we're good.
This has nothing to do with this show. I just wanted to ask.
Well, I'm so sorry. I gotta get ready to get off of here because I got another live. I can't do any more questions right now, boo. Hop on to the next live, especially if it don't have nothing to do with Bel-Air. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Look out for my episode 9 and 10 breakdowns. I already did 9. I have to edit it, and it will be up later on tonight. And then 10 should be up at some point this weekend. We can continue to sound off on all of the themes and the characters, the storylines, and everything that has gone down in this very rushed season. Not that they rushed to do it, but they rushed to release it. And join me on my next live tonight. I'm going live to talk about Power Book 2 Ghost, the most recent episode. So I will be back very shortly to discuss that. See you in the next one.